Alrighty, group. It's Wednesday, and this is our lesson for today. It's fraction number stories. It's lesson 6-12. It's page 220 in your math journal. Also, you can do the work on the template that's attached. In a few minutes, I'll do a sample that looks as challenging with all these words here and everything as what you're going to be doing. I'll be doing problem 4 here together with you. But just as a warm-up, though, let's take a look at just refreshing our memory about adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. So in this case, we've got a little problem here. Omar is choosing between two backpacks. The green one weighs 1 6/8 of a pound. The gray one weighs 7/8 of a pound more than the green one. How much does the gray one weigh? So obviously we want to focus on our question. Circle the question. I'm doing this with my mouse, so it looks awful, but it says how much does the gray pack weigh? I'll try with my finger and see if it works any better. Key information. The green one weighs 1 6/8, and the gray one weighs 7/8 of a pound more. Really key word there. All right, so obviously we write down our 1 6/8 pounds, and 7/8 of a pound more. Well, that key word is more, so we're going to have to add. That's what more means, usually. So let's add it up. What's 6/8 and 7/8? Well, it's 13 little eighths. 13 eighths. Okay? And then 1 plus 0, you can see the 0 there, invisible 0. So we get 1 13/8. Well, most of you recognize that 13/8 can be written another way because no one ever says that, oh, I've got 1 13/8 of a pound or something. So instead, we take that 13/8 off to the side here, and we figure out what it can be. So let's take a look. How much is 8/8? Well, if you answered 1, that's correct. What's left over? If you've got 13/8 and you take away 8/8, you're obviously left with 5/8. So 13/8 is the same as 1 5/8 of a pound. Okay, now we go back and we remember that we've also got another pound over there. So we add those up together to get the proper way to say our answer, which of course is 5/8 of a pound plus 2 pounds. So 2 5/8 pounds. Okay, and that's how you kind of do that. That's just a little refresher. So we're going to pause for a moment here, switch pages, and then so go get your book, log into Everyday Math. Make sure you're on Math Journal. Make sure you're on Math page 220 and come on back. All right, so you can see you're going to be working on numbers 1 through 3. Okay, they all look really like a lot of words and everything, but we'll do number 4 on the next page together, and you'll see that it's not as bad as it looks. So we're on page 221. We're going to do number 4. So let's go ahead and read it. Oh, another backpack. Ethan's full backpack weighed too much. Well, I don't know what too much is, but so anyway, way too much. He's too heavy for him. He took out a 4/8 of a pound electronic reader. Wow. A 2 1/8 pound full bottle of water. So he took these out. Oh, he also took out a 7/8 of a pound combination lock, maybe for his bicycle. Now the backpack weighs 8 5/8 pounds. How much did the backpack weigh before Ethan took out the supplies? Well, let's get our little marker here and recognize some important information. So first off, he took out, so that's a key term, took out, and he took out 4/8 of a pound. He took out 2 1/8 of a pound, and he also took out 7/8 of a pound. Now it weighs 8 5/8. So that's what it weighs now. Okay, and then of course the question is, how much did the backpack weigh before Ethan took out the supplies? So you should be doing this in your math journal, or later on when you come back, if you do this later on in your online on Everyday Math or in the template. So this is me getting important information. Okay, so first off, number model with the unknown. Well, now the backpack weighs 8 5/8. So that sounds like an equal sign to me. So I got to get rid of the little line here. So let's get this out of the way. See if I can do this better next time. Okay, there's our line. How much did it weigh? Blah, blah, blah. Before we took out the supply. So we know it now equals 8 5/8. 8 5/8. And I know you can write a lot faster than me. 8 5/8. So actually, I'm going to go back and change this. I'm going to go at it a different way because that doesn't really help me get our answer. So let's try this. So use your eraser like I'm using mine. Okay, he's taking out 4/8, and he's taking out 2 1/8, and he's taking out 7/8. If we put those all in, back in to the 8 5/8, then we should get the total what it weighed before. So let's turn this into an addition problem. Let's start off with 8 5/8. So, oops, don't want the eraser. It's really tough to draw here. So I'm going to get rid of that eraser again. Try again on the pen. Okay, 8 5/8. It's almost like maybe I should try text here, but 8 5/8 plus 4/8 from the very beginning. 4/8, at the 4/8 group, work with me, plus 2 1/8, 2 1/8. We add if we add that one, and then we add 2 1/8, and then another 7/8. Okay, and that'll equal question mark, the unknown. So what's the answer? I don't know. I've got to add it up. So first off, let's get our little highlighter here. Well, that doesn't work, but anyway, 7/8 plus 1/8, that's 8/8. I can tell that. 8/8 plus 4/8 is 12/8. 12/8 plus another 5/8 is 17/8. So that I can do. So 17/8 for the little fractional parts. And then see the 2, see the 8. So that I can do. 2 plus 8 is 10. So our answer is 10 17/8. Problem is that no one ever says 10 17/8. 17/8 is like not the way you really say it. So we need to convert that. So 17/8, just like what we did before, 17/8 can be changed to be something else. I'm going to move it over here. So how many 8s are in 17? Well, if you said 2, you're correct, because 2 times 8 is 16. So we're going to convert 17 eighths to 2, and then there's 1/8 left over, because 16 eighths plus 1/8 equals 17 eighths. So 2 1/8. Okay, so our answer is not 2 1/8, because that's a really light backpack. No way. And the backpack, it even says right here, it weighs, at the end, after they take all that stuff out, it weighs 8 5/8. So there's no way 2 1/8 is our answer. No, it's actually the 10 plus the 2 1/8. So that's going to be 12 and 1/8 is our answer. Okay, and we're almost finished. The problem is that it says if the 16 ounces of water in the water bottle weighed 1 pound. Okay, so they're telling us that 16 ounces is a pound. What is the weight of the water bottle by itself? Well, okay, so the water in the water bottle weighs a pound. So then all that's left is the water bottle itself. So if the water bottle was 2 1/8 pounds, I'm going to change colors here. That water bottle was how much? 2 1/8. And the water that's in it weighs a pound. Then what's the actual weight of the water bottle? Well, if we take a pound away from 2 1/8 pounds, that just leaves us with 1 1/8. 1 1/8 pounds. How many ounces is that? I don't know. I have to go look in my math journal at the front where it says pounds to ounces. I think it's in the front. If it's not, it's in the back. If it's not, it's in your reference book, which is also online. So anyway, I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. So I know it's going to be at least 16 ounces, but then there's another eighth of a pound. Well, okay, a pound, half a pound is 8 ounces, half of 16. A fourth of a pound is 4 ounces, because 4 times 4 equals 16. So an eighth of the pound must be 2 ounces. So it's the 16 ounces that's there for the pound plus another 2 ounces. So that's 18 ounces. Okay, so you have to figure out how to get a fractional part of a pound and convert it to ounces. Well, if you know that 16 ounces is 1 pound, that'll help you. And half a pound is 8 ounces. A fourth of a pound is 4 ounces. A little fourth there. Well, it's really hard to write so small. A fourth of a pound is 4 ounces. And an eighth of a pound is 2 ounces. I'm going to leave this little horribly written conversion chart there. I can't write it any better, but hopefully you can find something. Anyway, so 8 ounces, 18 ounces. And that's pretty much all you do for this problem number 4. If you can do problem 4 with me and you understood what I did, then you should be able to do problems 1 through 3. Good luck, everyone. Don't forget, you can always replay this video and check and see how I got something. Bye.